In today's idea of the day, I'm going to talk about a missing option for both Windows and Mac. And I'm more concerned that it exists in the Windows world, to be honest with you, because I think it's needed more there. And that is a rollback option. Now, what's a rollback option? Well, a few years back, there was a popular rollback application from Adaptec, which is kind of odd, called Go Back. And what it lets you do was you could turn it on, and then every time you made changes to your hard drive, it recorded the changes in a separate area. And then at a later date, if you decided you wanted to roll back and go back to a previous day, you could. Everything that you did up to that point would have been recorded, and it merely just undoes things to put things back the way they were. So, for example, if you were using some sort of application that was a trial and it left all kinds of muck all over there and you can't get rid of it, or you download a virus or some other thing happens, or you deleted the big project you've been working on and you can't get it back because you've already emptied your recycling bin and it's a whole big mess. Well, by rolling back, you put things back exactly the way they were. Now, I use the rollback function whenever I run Windows because I hate Windows as a rule of thumb because of all the muck and the problems it has. So what I do is I run Windows in a virtual PC. So I can already do rollback, which is to say that if you use virtualization software, periodically you create what's called a snapshot. And a snapshot basically says that as of this point, I'm kind of saying this is the way I want my system to be. And then from that point on, all subsequent changes are not written to the main hard drive file, because it's virtual. They're written in a separate file. And then whenever I decide that the machine's running okay and I'm kind of comfortable with that, I make a new snapshot, and it then merges all the changes that were made into the main file. Now you start back over again. Now, to me, a functionality like this should be a built-in option on both Windows and Mac, which is to say the ability to roll back to a previous date, and not just on a few files like Time Machine. I'm just talking about the entire system, especially Windows, where if you've got some sort of a problem, a ransomware application, a bad virus, whatever it may be, you should have the ability to just roll back to where you were before it happened. Now, the amount of rollback would vary based on the size of your hard drive, but let's face it, most hard drives today are big. They're really big, and most people don't even approach the size of the typical hard drive. So if you've got a 3 terabyte drive or 2 terabyte or even a whole terabyte, and you've only got a few hundred gigabytes worth of data, it can record all the changes to your files in another area on the hard drive or on a separate partition in another external drive or wherever it may be. But the point is that as long as it writes what the changes are, it can then roll them back if you don't like the changes, so that you can essentially use the timestamps on the rollback file to figure out how far back you want to go. And if you know you did something a day or two ago, you should be able to roll back a day or two. And if you did something a month ago, well, if you got enough space, why not let you roll back your system to the way it was when it was working nicely? This could also come in handy if you've got operating system updates or other patches to things that just weren't compatible. So today's idea of the day is there should be a rollback feature built in to both Windows and Mac. And that's today's idea of the day. All right, so that's today's idea of the day. I hope you liked it. If you visit ideaoftheday.com, you'll see a new one every day. Every day. Yeah, some of them don't suck. And don't forget to subscribe. And you can see them here every day. Brand new one. And some of my videos don't suck either.